All right, you guys, Ralph Havens here and Ilia Kavoukis, and impromptu meeting because Ilia and I met and we were chit-chatting about things and talking about how our lives have changed over this past year and years and what we've seen in the world and what's going on and how some of the successes we've seen. And Ilia wanted to share her success story. So I want to introduce you to Ilia Kavoukis. She's worked with me for a few years now in our Atomic Success Secrets group, a daily healing group, doing live daily healing in our group. And it's just been amazing and wonderful. She's worked with Christian Mickelsen at the highest levels. If you know him, the business coach, instant miracle peace process. I've worked with Richard Bartlett and Christian Mickelsen. Richard Bartlett, the founder of Matrix Energetics. So if you're a Matrix Energetics practitioner or interested in that sort of thing, or you've heard of Christian Mickelsen and interested in peace process and instant miracle, and he is a business coach, that abundance thing, the money thing. I hope this helps you out. So Ilia, thank you for jumping on last minute and just chit-chatting, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Can you tell us a little bit? People may know you, some may not. A little bit about yourself, and let's just get right into what you've seen, because you've seen some really cool stuff this last year or so.
Super. Well, thank you, Ralph, for this impromptu live. Always a pleasure to be with you. And my name is Ilia Kavoukis. I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. And yes, I did work with Christian Mickelsen, and he bestowed on me a lot of great things, taught me the peace process, which is what brought Ralph and I together, because he wanted to create a group where we could support people 5 days a week and offer them live sessions so that they can do the peace process and other things. So I've been doing that with you, Ralph, for over 2 years, I believe.
Yeah, over 2 years.
Yeah, and it's been amazing. So I facilitate on Wednesdays, but when I'm not facilitating, I'm in the group as well, as much as I can. And I'm telling you, my life is not the same since I've started with you, and this intense but really easy way of working.
Because I would say it's simple and profound, and sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it feels not so easy, but it is simple at its core. And
exactly.
Yeah, and for those of you that are wondering, what are you talking about? We have a group that we've been doing over 2 years now, where we people come in as often as they like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as often as they like. Some of them come in live and raise their hand, and have one-on-one healing from Ilia, one-on-one healing from me, and our other healers, Leslie Platner and Katie Cavenagh. So Ilia Kavoukis, me, Ralph Havens, we do one-on-one healing, and that's awesome. And we also have a group of people that have been doing this deep healing meditative work, getting their life the way they want it and getting their dreams come true. And this simple but very profound process. And so the combination of one-on-one healing and the group, it's been so wonderful to have this thing going on with us in our group. We have over 50 something people, and this last month we have a little over 100 people that are on the list, and anywhere from 10 to 20 to 30 people will join every on any given day live. And Ilia does that. She leads us in that group, and I show up in her group. She shows up in my group. We're the same group, but this are the days that we lead, because there's something about soaking in this thing and doing this process. So I just wanted to tell them what this is. So hopefully it's not as confusing as, what are you guys talking about? So
and you're going to put a link. You're going to put a link in the comments.
I'll put a link about it,
where they could go and see what you're talking about, what we're talking about.
I'll put it right down. Okay.
So just to give you a little bit of my background, in the last 2 years, I had been struggling in a relationship with this wonderful man, and it wasn't going anywhere because he lived in California and I lived in Quebec, and he kept going back to California every winter. Do you blame him? Nobody wants to be in Quebec in the winter unless you're a ski bum, which I wasn't really. I mean, when you're there, I made the best of it, but at one point it's like, okay, I had enough of the winters, So when I met him, it was great, because I was hoping to be able to do that. But I had a brick and mortar business. I had a location. I had to be there physically. I had all kinds of blockages, like just things that were keeping me stuck in Quebec and living in there in the winter. Now in the summer, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Weather's perfect. The scenery is great. Everything's wonderful. And we have, property that we live on that is absolutely gorgeous. So he would come back every summer and I would be like, yeah, he's back. Yeah. And then at the end of the fall came and then he would leave. And I'd be like, well, I can't leave, like I have to stay. Anyways, long story short, I finally gave up my whole brick and mortar practice. I gave up everything thanks to this group and this work that we've been doing. So I've been able to finally leave. And guess where I am now? I'm in California and it's the end of November. And I get to stay here for another 4 months, total of 5 months. So I'm going to be spending my winter here in California. And the average temperature in January is like 16 degrees, which is 16 is like 32, 62, 65 degrees Fahrenheit all winter long, which is amazing. I mean, it was like that yesterday and I was on the beach, watching the sunset. It was incredible because I live very close to a beach. So, sometimes we have these ideas, but we have no idea how to get to them. And we have all this stuff that's in the way. All of these negative beliefs and these programs that are limiting us, are stopping us from getting to our goal, right? What we do in this group is we help to eliminate all of that. And sometimes it could be like really quickly, sometimes it could take a while. That's why we offer an amazing program. We can go month to month or we can go for a whole year. And it's incredible price. You get 5 sessions. You get access to 5 live sessions every week, Monday to Friday. And you get to work with us. And we clear stuff. We move stuff. Like the people that have been around for a while, they're going into new things in their life, just like I am. Now I'm in California. Now I have to sustain this lifestyle. So another level with a better problem, right?
Yeah.
Back here, I was like, I just want to get out of here when we winter, right? I want to get out of here. And I didn't know how to, but I was able to move and eventually I could. Now I'm in California. Now my problem, my
Different
challenge
problems.
is
Yeah.
to be able to sustain that, to sustain this lifestyle and sustain, which I'm continuing to work on because that's part of it.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I can see this
coming
coming up. Like this, I was kind of thinking about like what was any kind of roadblocks or stuff in the way. And I'm thinking about myself, like I had this pattern throughout my life of almost getting everything I want, not quite getting everything I want. It goes back to childhood when my dad would like complain about the rich people that lived in North Del Rio, Texas, and we were better than them because we were not there. And then I was like, when I moved to California years ago, I didn't get all the way to the beach. I got within like a mile of the beach. And I didn't get all the way into Mission Hills. I got to the edge of Mission Hills. And I had this pattern of like it was that same pattern of like, the rich people are in the north part of town, a few blocks away from where I'm almost there. And so I'm in Fairhaven, in Bellingham, Washington, in the part of town that literally has my name, Fairhaven, looking out at the 100-acre woods where I love to run. And it's like, it's just, but I have different problems, like you said. So what were some of the, you would have to go into a bunch of story and we can talk about why story isn't the most important part of this, like, knowing why you've got a problem or what it is. But what kind of walls did you hit as you made this jump from Quebec to California?
Oh my God, there were so many. And the main wall, I would say, was the whole, is it possible? Is it really even possible? Like, who am I? Like, how, we get stuck on the how, right?
Yeah.
And we don't let go. We don't trust that when we're given a desire, that we also have what it takes to achieve that desire. But it's not through like hard work and, sacrificing and compromising our values and all of that. It's just letting go of all the stuff that is blocking us from getting it. Like my relationship kept failing pretty much every year. and the drama that went around that, until I finally said, you know what? I worked on myself. I did, because there was a lot of blockages that, I'm with him, by the way. We're in California. I don't know if that was clear.
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
we did it. And we're together, like, and like he had stuff too, right? Because there's a difference in age. And he was like, I don't know, man, you're just too young for me. Like, you're going to wake up one day.
It's like, dude, you got a hot young girlfriend. That's okay.
But he didn't like that. He was like, you're going to wake up one day, I'm going to be in diapers, and you're going to go, what am I doing with this old bag?
Wow.
That was his fear, right? So he kept not being completely committed. And my fear was that I wasn't, good enough for all of this, amazing life that I could have. And I needed to, this, like I had to made believe things, dramatizing things, and kept looking for a reason that it's not working, instead of looking for reasons that it is working and it can work. So we both, we did our work, and we met finally, and we're together. And who knows what'll happen in the future, but for right now, we're together and it's working. We're working through our stuff because stuff comes up, but
I want to talk about this little bit of
how
thing.
the work helps.
Yeah, there's a thing I'm kind of noticing that I want to ask about. Like, for myself, I think, this thing that I've wanted my whole life, I can trace it back to throughout really like middle school, probably even before that, and high school, and then throughout the years, the desire has been the same desire. Like my lifelong desire, it's been different flavors, but it's been the same desire. And there's always been parts, like a lot of good in my life. And yet there was parts that's like, oh, this one lifelong desire. It's not like all there. And talk about like, I'd like to hear a little bit more about like, was this a lifelong desire? Was this a pattern? Was this something that like you always wanted some version of this? Or, that was my experience. You've got this, you're in California, you've got this guy, you guys have this great relationship, you guys have worked on your stuff, you're doing the next level of stuff, the new problems, was this something that was like a long time coming? Was this something you wanted a long time? Was this like a lifelong little girl dream come true thing, or what? How was it for you? This was little boy dream come true for me.
Yeah, well, I like that for sure. There's always a desire, I think, from when we were children, is just to be happy, is to be at peace, is to be in joy, to be in community, to have fun, to participate in our community and give back and help for me anyways, I guess
I'm writing it down because that's it for me too.
Yeah. And to give, help the planet and its inhabitants. That's me.
Yeah.
And yes, I always had an idea that, yes, I would like to be with my beloved, with the person that I love and want to share my life with. That definitely has always been there for me. And like you said, at different times in our life, we have different desires. Like when I was in my teens, I wanted a guy with a car.
I think that's how I caught Jen. I think having my Audi sports sedan, I kid Jen, is like, that's how I got you, right, baby?
So in our 20s, it's different. In our 30s, I'm in my 50s now. So my, a guy with a hot car, it's like a hot guy with a hot car.
Although on some levels, it's like maybe a little bit of an okay car is pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, our desires change, but the foundation is to be happy and joyful and to be living in community and, be part of a tribe. So I think that is definitely there. And I would say my desire to leave the Quebec winters has probably been around for about 10, 15 years that I've been, actively working on. When I had my brick and mortar practice, I knew eventually I wouldn't be able, because I was doing massage therapy, and I knew I wouldn't be able to sustain it for many years. So I started learning things that I can do on an energetic level, and working on as a healer energetically, and freeing myself and being able to do stuff remotely, which is what I'm doing now.
That's
So
what you
yes,
do.
I've been working on it. I just didn't know how long, you know.
Yeah.
Look, I just
And then we
noticed
met,
something. Look at
we met
my
in a common
pumpkin
group.
here.
Like we both knew Christian Mickelsen, and for some reason we both connected, and it was like, Ilia, I'm gonna do this thing of daily group healing. Do you want to do this? So we
Yeah.
just, it seemed like by chance we were in the group of people. We were in the same group, the Christian Mickelsen group, and that's how we kind of got started there. Leslie Platner, we met through
Yeah.
the energetics world, and so it's like yeah, we met like that. What along the way of little girl dreams come true kind of thing, what did you discover? Like you've talked about, this deep desire, and it took a while to get that, where you're in California now, but along the way there was miracles along the way, and you and I meeting and then doing this group from over 2 years ago. And what did you discover? Like this, is there some epiphany or some secret sauce of like, okay, the key thing here to have, people have these lifelong desires, and we have struggles, health challenges, life not going the way they want kind of thing, the other love relationship stuff. They want stuff. They want to figure stuff out. What did you discover? Was there something that's like, okay, the key thing I see here, at least at this point, we're going to be farther down the road a year, 10 years from now, but right now, what do you see as like, was there any epiphanies that came up through this?
Yeah. You know how we talk about the law of attraction, like attracts like, and you have to just think positive and all of that. That is so true. But how do you do that? Because when the gremlins come in, and our thoughts, right, create a reality. So when the gremlins come in of, nah, this is not possible. Who are you? Like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna, hire you, or all of this stuff, or it's not possible. All of this stuff. When we give it our attention, because the thoughts will come in, but the trick is not to give it any attention, not to have a conversation with it even. Well, you're right. Maybe that won't happen. I told you, what do you think you're doing? Just go back and playing small. Don't have a conversation with it. Go, there you go. Thank you very much. Find the delete button, delete, 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 and then bring in what you do, what you want to experience, and the joy you will feel when you experience. So my thoughts, right, because when those gremlins came in, was me walking along a beach and going, yeah, phew, I'm on the beach. I'm walking, it's summertime. It feels great, right? In the middle of winter. So when in the last month, I've been walking on the beach, right? Well,
Yeah.
guess what? I'm like, yeah.
So you're enjoying it. You actually get it. You like enjoying it.
This is what this is what I wanted. That's so it's like, it's normal, this is what I've been thinking. So
this is normal. Does it feel normal, or does it feel like, oh my God, pinch me, or some of both, or
both? Yeah.
both, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me. Mine is running in these forest trails that I see in our little town of Fairhaven. And part of it just feels this is just normal. And then part of it is I'm just happy. Even though we have other stuff going on that we're working on, it's like, and even I noticed my wife is really happy, even though we have other stuff going on, like the next mountains, so that's interesting. You also feel like this, this inner happiness, this like, oh my goodness, this is so good. And it just feels normal.
Yeah. And then just the whole idea is to continue with that question you asked me. The whole idea is to not give any energy to those gremlins, those thoughts that like the repeated thoughts of, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? What if this happens? What if that happens? Worst case scenario, yes, you need to have kind of like a plan B and a little bit of a backup, but don't put too much energy into it. Like, think about what you want to happen, because most of the time we spend is thinking about worst case scenario, what we don't want to happen. And guess what? We've heard this before, where thoughts go, energy flows. So the more you think about something, that's where your energy is going to be. Like, I had this experience. You ever drive down the road? Are you focusing on the lane in front of you, or are you focusing on the ditch?
The lane. Hopefully.
Exactly. Because this is what happens. And this happened to me. So about 30 years ago, I had a really big accident. Okay. I ended up in the ditch. Okay. And totaled my car. Totaled it. Thank God I was able to walk away unscathed. Okay. Thank God for that. But I was thinking about it for months after, going, what the hell? How did I end up in the ditch? Well, guess what came to my mind? I was always thinking for like a couple of months before, watching the ditch, going, oh, I'd hate to be in there. I became aware
Really?
of that thought. But that's what we do.
Yeah.
We think about the ditch. We look and we think about, I don't want to be in there. I don't want to be in there. Well, guess where I ended up?
Yeah. One thing that comes to mind is like, well, that's hard to do. Because these thoughts come, songs come into your head that have bad lyrics, thoughts come into your head. There's like what conflicts did you see to being able to not look in the ditch and to look where you want to go and then to get what you want, and like,
because we're little antennas, right? So we're going to hear information, we're going to hear thoughts that are in the consciousness, collective consciousness. But it's our job, because we are the master of our thoughts, it's our job to bring ourselves back. There I go, thinking about the ditch, come back in. Oh, look at that nice road ahead of me. Wow. And then just start connect scenarios. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could fly off and just fly into the instead of having to drive?
Yeah.
But that's another thing. That's what I was going sometime. But I'd be like, okay, and then I'm going to reach my destination. What am I going to do in my destination? I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to stretch. I'm like, so I was thinking about getting to my destination or enjoying the road, putting on some book audios,
Enjoy the road.
just thinking about, and every time the thought of the ditch came in, I would be aware of it, because consciousness. And by the way, you might be asking, how does one get more conscious of those gremlins? And the answer is meditation.
It's very specific meditation. Like, you're not talking about trying to calm down.
Every day one must meditate. Meditation means just sit still for at least 5 minutes. Start with one, put a timer, build yourself, and just notice your thoughts. Notice, and then keep coming back to your breath. If that's what it takes, keep coming back. There's many forms of meditation. You can look it up. It's, but the idea is the more we meditate, the more conscious we become of those negative thoughts and find ourselves going off on those tangents, off into the ditch. We want to keep coming ourselves back on the road where we want to go. That's the whole thing. And that's the crux of it. My whole, and the fact how I got here, right here, being able to live in California for the winter, is I just kept focusing on what I want, not what I don't.
Yeah. One thing that comes to mind is that sounds really hard. Like, one is just to physically make the habit of getting that habit. And the other one is you're just sitting there doing it by yourself, and the thoughts just keep pouring in. And one of the things I find
Can I
really
ask you
useful is
something,
to
Ralph?
have you do it with me, because when
Ralph,
you do it with me,
what's
you keep
harder?
it focused.
What's harder? Suffering?
Yeah, right.
Living a suffering life? Is that easier than bringing your thoughts back? We got to choose. We got to choose our, what we call, for lack of a better word, pain.
Yeah.
What do you want? You get to choose. If you want to focus on your suffering, go ahead. But by the way, I saw a bumper sticker when I got here a week later. The bumper sticker said, "Not suffering. It's a lifestyle."
Wow, that's so true. And I think, for me, having you with me and our group, it's like, it helps to have people doing this with me, because
that's what we do in the group.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's
sometimes you just don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the thoughts are just too much. And I love the way you do the group. You get people out of their story, and then you get them right into, let's go heal this thing. And it's part of this be still and notice what this is. And it goes right with Matrix Energetics. It goes right with, Matrix Energetics, notice what you notice. With Christian Mickelsen, stay out of your mind, stay out of your thoughts, be in your body. With Qigong, let go of unnecessary thoughts, feel your body inwardly. It's like, it's written in so many places, be still and know I am God. And yet it can be such a struggle, especially by yourself. I find the group is like really key, because then you don't need a lot of motivation. You just need to like have it on your schedule and show up at whatever frequency, whether it's a few times a week or once a week or 5 days a week, and to do it in the group. What do you say about the power of the group? Like, I find when I do this on my own, it's powerful. And when I do it with all of us together, oh my goodness, there's something that really happens when a bunch of people are doing this at one time. What
Absolutely.
about the group?
Yeah. Yeah, you say this often, the group will get you there.
Yeah, my running coach
Yeah.
used to tell me that. It was
Yeah.
like, just keep showing up. You just keep showing up. And sure enough, it was like, I got to be one of those guys just by showing up. Same
Yeah.
with the medical intuitive training I did. They just said, just come hang out with us and you'll become one of us. And I think that's there's a lot of power in that, because sometimes it's hard to believe in yourself and you have your doubts, and it's like, damn it, I don't want to wake up at 5:30 and sit here by myself anymore. It's like, by the way, we don't meet at 5:30 in the morning, but yeah, along the way, so you've got the wonderful, you're in California, you're with your boyfriend, you guys are working on your stuff and you're taking it to the next level, and you've shifted out of the brick and mortar massage and into the energetic world of helping people heal. Anything you want to say about what you got out of this? Like, but you're in a process. We're all like going down the road, like we're going to be at the next level over the next mountains. But anything else you want to say about what else happened, or you got, or maybe the bigger picture of the unexpected miracles that might have come up?
Well, I think the main thing, and a coach asked me this many years ago and asked me a series of questions until I got to the core of it. And the core is peace. We all want to have peace of heart, right? And I wouldn't say I'm 100% there, but I'm very close, because whatever comes up, I just bless it and say, thank you for the opportunity to clear. Because that's what we're doing. Every time stuff comes up that is uncomfortable, it's an opportunity to clear something that you have labeled it as uncomfortable, as suffering. This is not good. I don't want this. And then you're like, great. When you do this process over, and that's why Christian called it peace process, because when you keep doing the process, eventually you get to peace. And I have to say, I'm at much peace. I still have challenges, right? Mm-hmm. I still have things that I'm working on, but it's next level challenges. I'm
so glad you're with me, and I'm with you, and we're together with our group, because it's like I can echo the same thing. It's like, yeah, there's the next challenges, and I can see them, and yet it's like I'm looking out at the 100-acre woods where I want to live, and I get to do what I want to do, and be with a bunch of good people doing good stuff. I'm so glad we jumped on this call. One of my meetings canceled, and Ilia was like saying, "Hey, Ralph, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Do you want me?" She's Canadian, although now she's US too. But do you want me to do the group healing, because I do it on Thursdays? And I said, no, I'm going to do it. And I said, you want to do it together? So we'll probably be in there together doing healing stuff tomorrow live. And so I put a link in the Facebook. I'm going to put this all over the place. We put it on Spotify and Rumble. I'll probably put this even on YouTube. And I'll email people this video, because I think this has been wonderful. This is what I see as, this is just so wonderful, because it's like, man, these lifelong dreams for myself, it's like they're coming true. And it's like, I got my health back. 2 years of not being able to run, I got my running back. I got a beautiful wife, beautiful kids, and I'm living where I want to live and doing what I want to do. And there's still some challenges. I was talking to Ilia about my challenges right now. And so we got stuff to work on, and Ilia's got stuff to work on. But if you want to be part of our group, we're doing something special this week. And because we do the group thing, I put the link there, and you'll see it below or wherever this is on the different platforms. And you can join us for a month. You can join us for a whole year, which saves you a whole bunch of money. But we do, we also do one-on-one healing sessions. People do work with us one-on-one, me and Ilia. But right now I'm talking about the group. But right now for this week, we're going to do a special thing. I'll give you 2 one-on-one full hour you and me sessions where we really do some awesome healing one-on-one, get you your plan and get you the group all included. And I think Ilia might even do a free one in there too, if you want. I haven't.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I asked her before I put her on the spot. So that's like 3 free one-on-one with Ilia, one-on-one with me. I'm going to do 2. And you're in our powerful, wonderful group doing this very specific work. So that's our best thing I can do. I just think if we can just get some time with you, you can heal stuff and you can get your health back and your life back. And you can do what you want to do in life and be who you want to be and fulfill your purpose. So if this speaks to you, it's my strongest message. There's the link. And Ilia, it's been so good. And I know we're with each other every week doing stuff. Anything you want to say right now? Anything we should send off with here?
Yeah, the whole thing about challenges, if you think you're doing all of this work and trying to create a life of abundance and, get the best relationship and get the best body and get whatever else, whatever you're going, if you think it's going to give you even keel, like everything's going to be perfect, life's going to work out great, you're delusional. It does not happen. As long as you're alive, exactly, you will have that. But when you do this work, when you're working with people like us, like Ralph and Leslie and Katie, and those waves are not as peak. They're not like, my life is over, and then go, all this crazy, up and down.
Your inner part isn't dependent on what's always going on out there.
Exactly. So it's like you become this witness of all this stuff going around. You go, yeah, it's not my first choice, but thank you for the opportunity. And I get to heal this now. And then the more you clean, and it helps everybody, all of humanity, because the tide raises all boats. So when you do your work, you're helping all of us. So you will always have your challenges. But when you work with people like us, you learn how to ride those waves, to surf those waves. Right? I was watching surfers the other day, and part of me is like, I wouldn't go out there, and they have to wear wetsuit because it's not that warm. I won't go out there, I have a wetsuit and that. But when they're there and they catch that wave, all that work makes it worthwhile, because that wave's coming, they go, and they're like, and I'm like, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. Do I want to do that? No, but
my medical intuitive teacher. I gotta interject this little bit. My medical intuitive teacher, Sharon G. Mateo, the late amazing Sharon G. Mateo, used to say that she thought her purpose, and I feel it's our purpose too, is to get people healthy enough to take their own wave, get on their own surfboard, take their own wave in life, and that's what we're up to. Yeah.
And when a surfer crashes right after you think they give back, or they go like, I'm done with this? No. They're like, okay, keep paddling, wait for the next one. And I missed this one. Do you think they're going, I'm such a loser? No, they're like, okay, take the next one.
That's a perfect analogy. Well, that's perfect. Well, I've got the link there. I'm going to share this everywhere. And if you know anyone that could use this sort of healing, let them know. That's what we're up to, healing ourselves and healing the world. So Ilia, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yes, let me go ahead and click us off here, and then I will share this. Let's see, stop.